Good morning and welcome back, viewers, to the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tutzlaw, to talk to you about all things Cal U women's basketball. But we're really excited today. Two wonderful, amazing freshmen. The last, actually, of the freshmen to have the show today. We have Shauna Harrison and Kanifa Pinnell. How are you doing today, ladies?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, before we get started, because you're newer to the program and the first time on the show, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience out there?
My name's Shauna Harrison. I'm a guard/forward at Cal U, and I'm from Sheffield, England.
And Shauna, what's your major for the viewers?
I'm a business marketing.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Kanifa. I'm from north side of Philadelphia. I'm a freshman here at Cal, and my major is criminal justice.
Cool. Well, ladies, interesting year so far. So the team started out pretty well, and we're really into the last part of our season. But I want to take the viewers back a little bit in time to talk about, first, Shauna, your journey to Cal U, where it started, how you chose Cal U. Just tell the viewers kind of where you're from and where this journey started.
So it started at my old college in England, at Myerscough College. And I was working there and got myself into the GB selection and represented my country at the European Championships. And I got scouted from there.
Yeah, and what about Cal U, Shauna, did you like or did you enjoy? Let's start about this. Did you want to come to the States to play basketball? Was that first and foremost your goal?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool. And what about Cal U was it that made you want to fly, from your home? How many hour flight?
7 to 9.
So you're coming a long way from home. What made you want to choose Cal U?
From talking to you guys on the Skype chat, made everything feel like a family-based sort of team, and that's what I look for.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Kanifa, and you, obviously a little bit closer in the state of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. What made you want to come to Cal U? Talk about your journey here.
Well, me personally, I wanted to get away from home, just to notice be in a different environment.
Try a new experience.
Yeah. And then I came up here for workouts, and I just felt like I just fit in with the team the players I was working out with. I just felt like I belonged here.
Yeah, cool. And so now that you're here and all squared away, tell us a little bit. And I asked the freshmen this: what it was like your first couple weeks for preseason. Shauna, let's start with you.
Preseason was a lot harder than I expected. I've done preseason before, and I came here expecting it to be similar. Then I heard stories from the other players that have been here, and it was a lot more intense.
Was it as challenging as they made it out to be?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so there was no mysterious thing. They weren't talking it up, and then it kind of reached all expectations.
Yeah, they were being direct about how intense it was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to finish preseason.
It was tough for
you.
How did you find a way to get through that?
The team, really. They kept motivating, kept pushing me even when I was down and didn't make the run or didn't make it on time. They just they was there for me.
Good.
It was easier.
Good. So now we're into the grind of season. Two different scenarios, though, for the viewers. Shauna, you're a freshman. You get to play right now. Neef, you're a redshirt. Mm-hmm. So you get to practice, but you don't get to play in the games. Let's talk to you, Shauna, about so far this season, your journey. You're playing, got injured, a little banged up for the past few games, injured at Slippery Rock, and then back right now, back in the grind of full things. Tell us about the start of the season and kind of making our way to right now.
It was a rough start for me because I had to adapt because it's a different style of play, a lot different sort of thing.
What do you think the biggest difference is? Would you say defensively?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Because you guys are all mainly focused on defense, whereas my old teams that I've been with have been a mixture of both. And
but more geared towards the offensive side.
Yeah, because everyone wants to get points.
Absolutely.
Whereas here it's more about steals, getting the right rotations and stuff like that. So, it's a lot different.
So you feel like you're adjusted?
I think now I'm adjusted, yeah.
Yeah, and feeling good about where you are, making your way back from your injury.
Yeah.
So here's the thing coming up. What do you expect Now that you're back and we're making a big playoff push, you know, we clinched the PSAC playoff berth. What is your expectation of the team right now?
I think we're all gonna keep like taking steps forward, trying to push each other every day in practice. Like this morning, people were pushing each other.
Yep.
So
just to get better every day.
yeah.
Indy, for you, tell us about the challenges. I'm sure I've never been a redshirt freshman. We've seen it as obviously as coaches, but you know, to come in every single day, practice, and then not have the opportunity to play in games.
Yeah.
What do you take this as? I think as a coach,
we
say it's a huge learning tool for you.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great experience. How is it for you?
I look at it as if I have an extra step up. So next year I'll still be considered a freshman. So I'll already know the ropes and everything, and versus the new people that are coming in as a freshman. So I take it as like a chance to get ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, has it been a challenge for you, the change from, you know, high school and AAU season to the collegiate level?
Yeah, it definitely has been, because I never not played, so I'm not used to not, you know, and then I go to practice every day, so it's like I expect to be on the court, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can't play. But yeah, it's definitely a change, and then it's more college. Like I broke down the defense. Like I haven't played defense like this in high school or AAU, nothing.
Just different.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Would you say more challenging?
More challenging, yes.
Physically?
Well, Sierra. That's the only person. Sierra's the only person that really gives me a physical fight. So,
and that's great for you. Just think to have an All-American that you get to practice with every day, who pushes you every day. There with Sierra, there's really no sleeping. You can't sleep at practice. You're either going to give it your all and your best shot, or you're going to fail. Is that correct? So,
and she's also a redshirt senior, so I'm like looking at her like, damn, that's me. Like she had the 5 years, she was a redshirt too, so I was like, yeah, I see myself in her a little bit.
That's great. Okay, so let's talk about, where do you think this group of freshmen, you guys came with a freshman group. I feel like in terms of team chemistry, we've heard it from numerous people on the show, that the freshmen are a big part of, you know, everything that we have been doing. What do you think that you all have personally brought to the table in terms of chemistry with this program?
I think we're just like an open group. Like you can talk to each other a lot easily. Like not even just the freshmen, like everyone. So it's easy to talk to like the seniors, juniors, sophomore. So it's made us feel like more welcome, so we can be ourselves, sort of thing.
Yeah, and you know what, we preach that a lot. You know, to you, incoming recruits, just last year at this time, you know, making the big push to get commitments. I think the focal point of our team has always been family. Now that you're here, do you feel that sense of family?
Yeah.
And let's talk about family. First of all, let's give the Harrison family a shout out over in Sheffield, England. I know they're going to be watching. Tell the viewers, it's very difficult. I mean, to come, you're at home and you make that trip over. You don't get to go home. You don't get the opportunity. Tell us what it's like to be an international student here at Cal and not to be able to have that direct face-to-face communication with your family.
I mean, it's really difficult, especially at some parts, like getting towards the end of the season. It's like really hit me that I haven't seen him in so long. I still talk to him on the phone, but it's still
it's not the same.
actual being there sort of thing. But definitely my experience before coming here, like I was away at college for 5 days a week before, so I kind of had that separation already.
You're independent, and you've learned to be independent before you've had to come and kind of be on your own.
Yeah, but it's still a bit different because now it's just constant. I'm not with them.
What about FaceTime? Do you use that?
Yeah. We always have that Friday FaceTime.
Friday FaceTime. So, you know, I don't know what it is with us Americans saying that.
Us Americans
thinking that anytime someone says they're from England, we just naturally assume that you're right next to London. I'm like, how far away are you from London? So explain to the viewers kind of what Sheffield is known for, what you love about your hometown and your family.
I mean, Sheffield's a small town kind of thing. It's a lot of people who I've played against say that we're kind of in a valley, because to get to ours you have to come through it's a really weird route to get to where my team is. But London's like the capital, so obviously I get why everyone's saying that London's the big thing, But mine's more a country compared to,
Close with a lot of family and friends there?
yeah. Like, all my grandparents are just around the corner.
And if you had something to say to them right now, like, if they were viewing over there, what would you want to say to them?
That I'm missing them.
Yeah.
And there's not long left until I get to come home and see them again.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And you know what? I love them. A ton of support from there, obviously with Twitter and Facebook. I know how much we appreciate it and how much we appreciate, your family trusting all of us to take care of you while, you're away from home. So, Nate, for you, what do you think about the chemistry with the program? What do you think that you bring to the table with that?
Well, I think I bring my humor to the table, but we can.
Very humble,
Yeah.
right?
But on the serious note, I think and it starts with the seniors. They keep everyone accountable, and everyone does the same thing. So no one slips up, and everybody is on the same page all the time. So we all just stay connected.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. I think it's one of the we've said it on the show before, one of the most important things as you try to make a championship run is to make sure that you are really close. And I think if you're close as people and build those relationships first, then it's easy to be a great teammate if you've already had
trust
that.
your teammates on the court.
Trust is huge. So now that you've had almost, getting closer, a year under your belt here, coming back, next year, what do you think that you'll do differently before you come back to school?
I think, I don't know.
That's a tough question because, because I always say as a freshman, and I remember when I went to school, you think when you're a senior going into your freshman year or coming to college, whatever you come from, you think you're ready to go. I mean, you think that everything's great. You think that you've put the work in, but then when you get here, you're like,
I wasn't prepared for that.
This is a lot different than I had thought. Do you think that you'll prepare differently in the summer?
I think I'm definitely going to keep up with my fitness ready for that preseason, so it's not as hard a hit when I get here.
And that's about it, just making sure that you work on yourself. Neef, what about you?
I'm going to come in with an open mind and just know in my head, no matter what I have to do or whatever we have to do as a team, to just keep trying.
Yeah, absolutely, day by day. And ladies, I know that you're a little hesitant about coming on the show, but that was it's just a casual conversation. So, ladies, thank you so much for being with us here today. Folks, that's the first half of the Jess Strom Show. We'll be right back with our head coach, Jess Strom. And welcome back, viewers at home here and abroad. Hello, Harrison family. I know you'll be watching, so we'll just say that again. Anyway, back with our head coach, Jess Strom. Bounce back week for the Vulcans, huh?
Finally.
I know. Everyone's sitting a little taller this week. Different feel this week than it was last week, obviously, with the big bounce back week versus Gannon at home, and then technically at home versus UPJ, but really not at home at Penn State Fayette. Tell us about this past week.
Yeah, I think we needed these 2 wins, not just because we won, but I think we were playing a little bit better. I think we were moving a lot better defensively. We were kind of getting after it a little bit. So I think we're tired of the losing feeling that we had for 2 straight weeks, and came out and played a little bit harder.
And that was an unusual feeling. I know I felt uneasy about it. It was, after the one, I just, like you said, always in our show, and like we always said in our meetings, you don't expect to be perfect. But when you get one and you're kind of disappointed about it, and then add that second one on top, it kind of makes you feel some type of way when you're not used to having that. We haven't had that, I think, since the 2012-13 season, or 13-14, back-to-back losses, and it was kind of tough.
Yeah, and it was right in the middle of a bye week too, so it actually was, I think, 2 weeks of feeling that feeling. So this week was a good one for us. I think the kids worked really hard and came out and played hard.
Yeah, and it just had a different feeling. It had more like of a Cal U feel to it, like of the old grind it out, work hard, defensive mentality. One of the first, getting kind of back to the basics of what Cal U is all about.
Yeah, I think we forced 33 turnovers and then 31 turnovers. So that's pretty impressive in 2 games.
Can't be unhappy about that. And, kind of what a great way to get the offensive side rolling is by getting the defensive side rolling.
Yeah, and I think everybody got a chance to play last week, which was good. Everybody was feeling good. Everybody came in and contributed something, so it was good.
Yeah, and let's talk about Gannon. It feels like forever ago, but it was, just recently here when we played on the 13th. Let's talk about, some of the things that happened in this game.
Yeah, I think early we came out, we started defensively a little bit different. We pressed early, and I think our kids just ran with it. I believe the first quarter it might have been 25-6.
Yeah, and the momentum never really stopped.
Yeah, I think we just jumped on them early, and I think when you do that to teams, even good teams, they're kind of a little bit hesitant for the rest of the game when they turn it over early. So I think that was huge for us. And I think earlier in this season when we would get up, maybe we would let teams come back and kind of inconsistent. But this game we didn't. We kept our foot right on that gas pedal the whole game. So it was really nice to see everybody getting involved. And you see a lot of these highlights are us, getting steals and then to scores. And
kind of what Cal U is all about, getting it done defensively, which brings you back to the offense. And here's the thing, it doesn't hurt when you hit a few shots for the Vulcans.
Yeah, and I attribute that to our kids have been getting in the gym and shooting on their own and shooting extra and staying after practice. And kind of really putting in the time these past couple weeks. So I think when it shows in the game, that's huge.
Yeah, and kind of, I don't want to say a bounce back, but a real eye-opener coming through the past 2 games is the play of point guard Bianca Jasper.
Yeah, I think she's gained some confidence. But I think she's been in the gym much more these past couple weeks. Got some confidence back, and she's been our leader. She was aggressive in these 2 games, shooting when she's open. But I also see right there, Abby Sporia has been playing awesome too. I think she's kind of hit a new level, attacking the rim. She's been hitting some outside shots. And this is the time for our seniors right now, to step up. These are their last few regular season games, and then we head into postseason. So.
And Abby with another speed defensively. Last year we kind of was pretty banged up. I think she's probably healthier than ever that we've seen her and just flying down the floor.
Yeah, she's moving, and she is a gnat defensively for other teams. And I know it's really difficult to play against her when she can move the way she's able to move when she's feeling good.
And thoughts on giving up 45 points? Super happy about 79-45, I believe was the final. Great defensive effort.
Yeah, and that's with everybody playing. It was, it wasn't like our starters were in the whole entire game. So I think everybody came in with the same mindset, like we need to get back to playing great defense.
Put the foot on the gas pedal and just go. It's always nice, though, like you said, with everybody getting into play, the expectations don't change. I feel like that's something that you really harp on.
Yeah, I think, just the way we practice also, we don't really practice starters versus non-starters a lot. Sometimes we do, we have to. But everybody is expected to do the same things.
You have to contribute.
Yeah, there's nobody who, gets a pass. Everybody's expectations are the same.
Yep, and let's just move past Gannon right into UPJ. Playing a really good UPJ team, do a lot of things on the offensive side. Interesting, we were at Penn State Fayette. It was a home game, but we were away for a small facility issue. What are your thoughts on home, not home? I think each coach varies.
Yeah, I think that we'd rather be at home. But I also feel like anything we can throw at our team at this time is not a bad thing. And the one thing I love about this team, they don't say a word about anything.
No
one said one word about not playing at home, about going to Penn State Fayette. They just do it. They don't I mean, honestly, they don't even act like anything's wrong. We practiced in Heron the other day. They don't say a word. They don't do anything.
They just grind it out. They figure it out. And here's some highlights. Obviously, the court looks different at Penn State. Have the symbol that you were there. So there's your good old alumni. Talk to us a little bit about this game.
Yeah, I think, it's the same way. We came out being aggressive, defensively especially, but offensively too. I think, we were in attack mode on both ends of the floor. And when we are that way, we're much better. We were moving. We weren't standing. Again, and you can see a lot of steals to scores for us.
Yeah, just straight back to the grind, defensively, just playing. I felt like we are just playing tougher right now in general on both ends of the floor. Defensively, kind of bringing a more intensity and a lot more aggressiveness. And then offensively, I think whatever you do defensively, kind of for us, will tell you how we're going to play offensively.
Yeah, and I think in this game too, as you can see, Sierra got in some foul trouble in the second quarter, and we had some people come in and play really big minutes. Jameer Jeffries came in and played huge for us. She got some really big offensive rebounds. DJ Hahn came in and hit some shots, which was nice to see that, even when Sierra came out, obviously our leading scorer, leading rebounder, we had other people ready to step up and play, and they did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I loved about that is not only, sometimes when you lose, somebody out of your starting five or, someone that's big time in your rotation, teams always hope to maintain. I think what we did was we took the next step up and started to play even harder.
Yeah, I think especially on the defensive end, the five that were in there when Sierra was on the bench were moving. Like, they were scrambling all over the court. They were hustling. They were diving on loose balls. They had a different energy about them, which is really good to see.
Yep, and obviously Sierra hitting some big time outside shots and always running the floor hard. For somehow, some way, she's always going to come up, with big plays. Whether that be, doesn't matter if it's a huge scoring night, whether she has 31 or if she has 8. That somehow, some way she's going to come up with a big play.
Yeah, she always does, and she's been around long enough to know if she's not scoring, then she better play defense. She better rebound. She better get some steals. So I think. Obviously, she's super important to our team, and she finds a way to get it done.
In another game, 41 points given up. And again, what we always preach, that's another game that we're holding teams under their average and doing what we need to do defensively.
Yeah, we always have a bullseye.
Explain to the viewers what the bullseye is, because I think if you just hear that, you wouldn't really have an idea unless you're with the team.
Right, so we take, we look at the other team's average, what they average offensively. And we ask the players, what is our bullseye? What do we want to hold them to? It's usually around the same, typically. And then we really tried from the beginning of the game to hold them to that number. So our number's never 40. So for 2 games to keep them in the 40s is really, really good for us.
Yeah, super excited. Now, coming up, those games are in the past. Can't think too much about them. Obviously, you learn from them. But coming up, heading up on the bus, going to Erie, to Mercyhurst. Preparation for the game so far. How do you think it's going?
Good. I think we're in game mode now. So I think, we're very much like on schedule. We come in Monday, we watch film very early. Then we practice. We come in Tuesday even earlier, watch film, and practice for a little while. I think our practice time has shortened, but it's this time of year, that's what we do. We go hard just for a shorter amount of time. But our kids have been really good. I don't know many college students that can watch film at 6 a.m. and stay focused.
And they're not sleeping.
Yeah, and they're not. And they're asking questions and they're engaged. And I think it's just, I heard the freshmen talking about the senior leadership, and I think they've been great. They're the ones there. Nobody can slip, because as soon as you do, we don't even have to say anything. They do.
They kind of police themselves on those matters. Tight game the last time we played Mercyhurst at home. It seems like forever ago, but it really wasn't, that long ago. Tight game. Sierra Barrett turned on the Jets at the end in the fourth quarter to kind of bail us out of a not so great shooting night. Defensively, not the same team.
Yeah, I think our energy was just different. Going back and watching that game and watching us these past 2 games, our energy level was just different. So I think, that's a great thing for us, because we can control that. We can go into a game with that energy, or we can go into a game and not have energy. So it's not like, it's uncontrollable. So I think if we go up there with energy, it probably will be a different looking game. But it's just a choice we have to make.
Yes, and this week is another big week too as well. It's so important, I think, though, that we don't we never really take a step ahead. Yes, we can talk about it, on the show. We say, hey, it's senior day, alumni day, IUP day on Saturday, but we're not there yet.
No, I honestly haven't even thought about IUP for 1 second yet. I know it's there, but we never look ahead. That's just
Ever.
how we do it. Different, programs do it differently, but we focus. Mercier's game is just as important as the IUP game for us
No
right
doubt.
now. So it's not like one trumps the other. So right now, Mercier's is just our focus.
Yeah, and they're playing well. Huge win versus Seton Hill. Also with the addition that we didn't see, we haven't had the opportunity to play against Nicolette Newman. She's with the team now. So it's going to be a different look for them.
Yeah, it is, and it's a really important game for us. We typically haven't played well at Mercyhurst, so we need to change that tomorrow. But yeah, it's a big game for us. They can shoot the ball. They're very fundamental. So we have to try to speed them up a little bit.
I don't want to skip ahead, but let's just touch base on it very quickly. It is senior day on Saturday, and we'll get to that when we get to there in that game. Tell us about what this group of seniors has meant to you, Jess, personally, and then for the basketball program.
Yeah, they've been huge. I think that they're kind of a mishmash of Sierra was a year older than Em, and then Abby came halfway through the year, so it's kind of different. And then Gigi was a transfer. The same as Abby. So they're kind of like from all over the place. They weren't a senior group that came in together as freshmen, but they've done a great job. I think this year especially. Sierra's leadership has been really, really good, and I can't say enough too for the other the other three. They've just had an expectation of this team and held people accountable. So I think we might not be the best at one thing, but they work so hard that they make up for everything else. So we're going to miss this group. Senior Days is going to be kind of sad and happy at the same time. But I don't think they're done yet. I don't think they're satisfied with where we are right now. And I think they really want to make a push, towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and it seems like, obviously you want to recognize and show them all the respect because they have given so much to the program. I think people don't understand how hard it is, to stick it out for so long, come in, meet the expectations of the program, which I think have always been high and will remain high, here at Cal U and what we expect. But I don't think people understand what kind of commitment it is and, what kind of level of determination and physicality and mentality that you have to be a collegiate basketball player at a high level.
And basketball is a long season. I mean, their whole school year pretty much is basketball. So you have to love it. Mm-hmm. You have to really enjoy it, enjoy your teammates, enjoy your coaches. We spend a lot of time together. So it is kind of sad when they leave because we've spent a lot of time daily with them. But it's very nice to see them move on too and see what they do next. And
isn't that half the fun of coaching is kind of seeing, where everybody ends up and, getting to touch base with them. So, well, let's hop to the standings. Crazy in the PSAC right now. IUP obviously at number 1. Cal at number 2, and Edinboro. All three of those teams have already, with the Stars, have clinched playoff berths to the PSAC tournament, and then there is just a dogfight after that. I mean, it's really, really tight.
Yeah, I know we say it every year, but the PSAC is actually crazy this year. Teams have been beating teams that on paper they shouldn't be beating. I think just last week, you had Mercyhurst beat Seton Hill, and then you had Clarion beat Slippery Rock. So any night, anybody can win. So that's why every game is important. You have to show up every day. But it's still a fight, Everybody's fighting for position right now. So it's literally we're not going to know until the last game is finished.
Yeah, and position is crazy, not only for the PSAC tournament, but coming up tomorrow, first regional rankings of the Atlantic region. Going to be really interesting.
It is. I'm excited to see where everybody is. And
obviously it's not the end all be all. It's still early. The first one's out. Things can change rather quickly in a few days or even a night.
Yeah, because I think people have to play each other. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, big games coming up. You can't let any game slip. You have to really take these games seriously.
Yeah. So a big week for the Vulcans, heading up to Mercyhurst, playing at home versus IUP, and then rounding it out on the road at Seton Hill on the 27th, and obviously the last game, which is mind-blowing to me that it's already here, at Clarion on the 2nd. So really exciting stuff coming up. And then after that, PSAC playoffs. And then, you hope and you wish and hope and work hard for an NCAA tournament spot. And basically that's kind of where we are. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's the best time of the year. We talked about talked to our team about it recently, like they put in work since September. You know, I know the kids come up here and talk about preseason a lot and how hard it is, and you know they get through it. But we do that so this time of year, you know, we can be prepared to push. You know, right now I feel like, hopefully, and I think the last 2 games are a good indication that we're pushing forward. You know, we're not going backwards now. This is the time that you like all that work you've put in until now. Like you go right now. So I'm hoping that, you know, all that hard work they put in, that right now is the time that they see it all pay off.
And one thing that you had put in the locker room that's painted in there that probably will not go away for a long time is, you know, don't get to March and wish for a second chance. And basically the mantra is just do it now every single day. Like just today in practice, I heard you say, do it now. Like you can't wait to turn it on in the game. You have to do it every second of every drill, every minute that you're at practice. And then when you get to the game, that's where it really comes to fruition.
Yeah, I don't think people understand how hard it is to win games at this time of the year. And I think it's the preparation that you put in all year long. You can't do it now.
No.
It's too late.
That time has passed.
Yeah, you have to do it every single day, all year long. And it's really hard. That's why I feel like it's a lot of sacrifice to be a really great team. And you hope that you've done enough work up to this point, but you still put in the work daily now.
Yeah, and if it were easy, they would be laying in bed at 6 o'clock in the morning and not watching film or not getting ready for practice.
Yeah.
So, well, that's the end of the Jess Strom Show. Please join us. If you can't make it to the games at Mercyhurst tomorrow or at IUP on Saturday, you can watch us online. CUTV has it all squared away. They do a great job. So special shout out to Gary and his crew for all their help and all their dedication to our program. And we will see you soon.